high definition. News Channel 5 on your side starts now.
Warner Mendenhall is a well-known attorney known for advocating people's rights. We're glad to see you once again. We have a number of things to talk about today related to events in our area, but you want to talk to begin with about something that you call a lost deal threat. You know, if you're negotiating something, often the tactic that a salesperson will use is say, well, you know, if you don't make this decision now, you won't get the same deal tomorrow.
In my practice, and I think a lot of lawyers see people come in constantly with problems with car dealers, home solicitation sales, payday loans. And one of the things that people need to remember is when you're signing a contract, take your time and read that over. Whenever a salesperson says, if you don't do this today, you're going to lose this item or this good, don't believe it for a minute.
Time to walk away.
Time to walk away, time to be very careful. It's a common tactic called fear of loss. Don't let the salespeople use that on you. You're going to get in trouble if you start hearing those words.
Let's talk about a recent important ruling that affects consumers, the Ohio Consumer Sales Practices Act. What has this done to protect consumers in transactions?
There was a great ruling. It's Whitaker versus Montrose Toyota, and I want to mention the two Akron lawyers who fought that case because they fought hard for 6 years, Rocco Yergin and Laura McDowell in Akron. And that case basically said that consumers get the full amount of damages when they have been cheated. In this case, it was an auto dealer, and a young man went in to buy a truck. He took it home. They gave it to him. And during the week that he had that truck, he sold his old truck, and they called him back and said, look, you don't qualify for a loan. And they brought him back in and said, look, we can lease it to you, but we can't give you a loan on this truck. Well, he couldn't accept the terms of that lease. He turned it in, but meanwhile, he was out of a truck. This case said that that man gets every damage available to him, including attorney fees, which were $150,000 in this instance, and the damages that he suffered because of inconvenience and emotional distress during that case. That
part of it is new, too, for consumers, the emotional distress.
Well, we have never had a case that so clearly defined what the damages are, and he won $100,000 for emotional distress at the trial court, and then the trial court, under Ohio's consumer law, tripled that damage figure to $300,000. And I listened to your lead-in that this encourages consumers to sue businesses. I don't like to say it that way. I think what this does is encourages businesses to be fair and honest in their dealings with consumers, and I hope that that's the lesson that we learn from this.
In the few seconds we have left, can we talk quickly about home solicitation, especially following storm damage such as we've seen recently?
Well, we've been talking about the great weather coming up this weekend, but we've had some terrible weather in the last few weeks. In particular, there was some hail damage south of Cleveland, and you know, as soon as that damage came forth, we saw home solicitation salespeople going throughout the neighborhoods in Akron and Jackson Township. Remember, if somebody solicits you at home for work on your house, you have 3 days to cancel, and that does not include Sunday. So Sunday does not count. And you can cancel by regular mail, though I think it's preferable to cancel by certified or registered mail, so you know when you mailed that letter canceling that contract. Read them over carefully. Don't fall for that fear of loss tactic that a lot of these salespeople use.
Well, great things to keep in mind. If you'd like more information, you can contact the law offices of Warner Mendenhall at 330-535-9160. Warner handles many different types of cases, and we have a link to his website on Newsnet 5. Look for the link on the right-hand side that reads, "As Seen on News Channel 5." Warner, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.